Welcome to episode 2 of No Neutral. I am your host, Big Hollywood, RobTV, and I am joined here with my co-host, the one, the only, the famous, the JP player, unfortunately, Brian F. Let's go, Brian. What up?
Listen, those are all positive things to me. You try to add that one, that little tone shift like there. Listen, I'm a JP player and I'm proud. That character is too fun. But you know what? Listen, you better get used to him because not only did we have the largest gaming event of all time happen recently, it was dominated by JP players. Okay, so let's get used to it. That said, what we really want to talk about here today is, of course, do a little recap on the largest offline gaming tournament ever. I think that's an official stat. Listen, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but according to the record books, it's the biggest one. Evo 2023, over 7,000 competitors showed up to compete in Street Fighter 6, and we had to go through all of them in one weekend to crown one champion at the end of it all. And of course, it was the angriest of birds, Angrybird, the Evo champion. And I gotta say, that top 6 was perfect.
Yes, it was. It had perfect. Absolutely everything, bro. I had to watch it in my brain through getting like text messages because I was flying over to Gamers 8 on Sunday. So I'm on the plane hearing about Menace come back from down 0-2 and he just did this, he just did that. So I'm damn near ready to cry just hearing how Menace is doing these crazy comebacks and whatnot. I'm hearing about how Punk is running through people and everything. Yeah, that was absolutely ridiculous, bro. Evo, outside of just top 6, we just got to talk about it as a whole. FGC, we up, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course,
feels good.
7,000 people signed up for Street Fighter 6. Over 20,000 people, I think, in Evo attendees in general, I want to say.
It was close to that number, yeah.
Something around 20,000.
Over 10,000 for sure. Over, I think I heard 11,000. Maybe it's closer to 20,000.
I thought the finals venue had like 12,000 people in it.
Oh, listen, whatever it was big numbers. And I was in that finals venue for Street Fighter 6, and it was tough to find a seat. So, you know, we've been filling out the Mandalay Bay Stadium for a while now. Like it was crowded, but this time it was packed. Like, it was difficult to find seating in there in a good way. And
the videos of the cell phones in the air, Brian, was crazy.
Yeah, it chills down my spine. And at one point, you know, after the show had concluded, Rick came on to say his piece. And he asked the crowd, he said, how many of you here are at your first Evo ever? And I am not kidding you. I think 80% of the crowd responded, it's their first Evo. 80% of them, which was just mind-blowing to see just how many people are encouraged to come out, encouraged to attend. And I think Street Fighter 6 honestly played a huge part in that. I don't need to say honestly. It
ain't no think, bro. Yeah, that's for sure.
I don't need to speculate here. Yeah, it's a 1-to-1 correlation here. Street Fighter 6 was this huge draw for Evo. So many new players, so many new members of the FGC showing up to support the game. So it was just an amazing community event. But like that tournament, I still want to talk about the tournament itself. That top 6 had everything you could have wanted, because no matter which way it went, because all the people in that top 6, incredible competitors, any one of them could have won it on a good day. No matter which way it went, we had an amazing storyline, because we had, of course, Punk, trying to do it big for USA, trying to finally claim his big title. He was the most dominant player for a long time in Street Fighter 5, but never had that Evo or Capcom Cup win. Was coming off an undefeated streak through the largest bracket of all time.
Not a game, bro. Not a game dropped. Lose a game.
Maybe a round. I think he dropped a round. We had Mena RD in the loser side of things, who was coming off a hot streak of winning CEO in many other tournaments, barely losing a very close set to Kakadu. Kakadu winner side, many people saying the best player in Japan, 10-0 Daigo in sets, cooking everyone over there.
And Mena's story is also the fact that he was trying to become the first Capcom Cup and Evo champion.
Capcom Cup, which is crazy. Capcom Cup 2-time champion into Evo champion. So much momentum, even beyond just Street Fighter 6 itself. Tokido just being Tokido. So like, no matter who won, I feel like you had such a good story. So like, there was no chance of a lame duck match where like there's a clear favorite or it's boring that this guy wins. It was going to be exciting no matter which way you sliced it. But I think beyond that, the story we got of Mena's ridiculous losers run and Kakadu having like losing in the most ridiculous ways to Tokido's plot armor. And
yes, Tokido is just, there's something out there, bro. Like someone, it literally is plot armor.
First of all, Kakadu should have won his final game. He had Tokido in Burnout, and a Burnout against JP is practically checkmate. and he had to make another like 80% comeback. And then in the final round, Kakadu is setting up the level 2. He's going for that final reset, and then somehow the reset doesn't work, which is a 1 in a million situation. And then Tokido says, "Oh, I'm alive. Screw it." Mash out super right there, and then somehow he steals the win from Kakadu again. So just like insane plot armor, and Kakadu, he was looking so strong, but just couldn't close out those games against Angrybird and Tokido. And then that led to Tokido versus Mena. Ridiculous. The face-off they had, the stare down.
No, that face-off was so fire.
The Capcom Cup
swore just now. Oh my God.
The Capcom Cup 2017 run back right there. They have their own legacy and rivalry with each other, and it was an amazing set. And then Punk going up 2-0 against Mena, then Mena winning 3 straight with Blanca, and then the grand finals reset, Mena switching between Blanca to Luke to Blanca. But the one constant through all this was Angrybird just showing another level of offensive dominance.
He's different. Angrybird, right now, of course, we breaking out Evo. It's a question like, man, is Angrybird the best player in the world right now? And he really might be. His offense is insane. He's playing a different game, bro. Like he has figured it out. His offense make no sense. Of course, he's anti-air everything, but as soon as he hits you, because it's Ken, he snatches you right over to the corner. And then how about, what else I think was so dope, Brian? His winning celebration.
Oh,
my man just gets down on first person from the Middle East to ever win Street Fighter Evo, and then he just goes down and prays right there on the stage. That was absolutely beautiful, man. I love that.
You could feel the passion from the players. Like that's why I love this top 6. Like no matter who would have won, I think you were going to have something incredibly emotional at the end of it. Because I by that point, I love Angrybird, but I got to be honest. By that point, I was just so enthralled in the Mena RD story leading up to this. Like that losers run was so incredible. So I'm so happy we at least had the reset to make Angrybird bleed a little bit. But man, yeah, Angrybird has been such a strong player for so long, so humble, so kind. Like he's just, I don't know. He's just like a great person that you want to see succeed. Like when you get to interact with him or see the way he carries himself, he's always so humble for how good he is. Like bro, he has no reason being that nice. He could be the biggest jerk in the world and you'd be like, yeah, whatever. He's just that good. But he carries himself with so much, respect and kindness for others. So it was great to see him achieve his dream like that.
He has now reached superstardom, for whatever word that may mean to you, at least within this fighting game community. Mm-hmm. And that's different. That's very different than just being one of the best players in the world. Mm-hmm. I like his follower count shot through the roof. Like he might have gained over 10,000. I don't know. I don't remember at this point. He gained so many followers immediately, bro. Like the story is there. I mean, then this naturally, I feel like transitions into Gamers 8 as well, which we got to talk about. So last thing I'll say with Evo is just biggest Street Fighter tournament of all time as far as entries. I mean, we up FGC. Brian, you already know, I kind of wanted to tell our pizza story, but I don't know how much time we really have. But I just to recap really quick, me and Brian, Evo has so many people. So everywhere we go, we're meeting so many fans. And it was amazing meeting so many of y'all. At least I feel that way. Brian's arrogant. So, he probably hated me, y'all. But for me personally, I was like, Brian, you got to be nice. It's the fans. He was like, all right, I guess I'll talk to these peasants. That's what Brian said.
You can't leak our conversations like this, Rob. I told you to keep this between us.
but bro, in all seriousness though, so even though it's amazing meeting everybody, I can't stand walking around with Brian because I feel like when we walk around, especially it's like the no neutral thing, it's over the top. People are like, So then we try to go get some pizza. We sit down. It just so happens that the people sitting there at the next table were fans. Before you know it though, it's only us coming to get some pizza. We had a table of like 8 people just sitting there chilling. I think it was Myers and all the homies. And yeah, so don't try to go anywhere with Brian F. That guy's too goddamn popular and it's pretty annoying. It's like walking around with the Drake.
I'm just trying to press buttons and talk about Street Fighter, so I don't know why you're lying on my name like this.
I'm just keeping it a buck, bro.
Evo was a good time. Yeah, I had to take a lot of photos after my losses. Yeah, it was tough. I smiled through the pain. I guess, Rob, you don't have to know about that pain anymore. You gone full posted in full interview mode over here. I still had to go out into the brackets, buckle up and get to work and take those photos after the L.
Take those. Oh, I hate that. Last year when I played at Evo,
I love it though. I hate it, but I love it. What can you do? So I respect. I appreciate that people care what we do. At the end of the day, that's amazing to see. We're just two nerds talking about Street Fighter. So shout out to all you guys and thank you so much to everyone who came out to Evo to support.
All right, so after Evo, we went straight into Gamers 8, bruh. So we went from the biggest Street Fighter tournament ever, as far as entrance, to the biggest prize pool in Street Fighter history by far. Like, this was a legendary tournament.
Capcom Cup.
Then it's about to go up. Then it's gonna go up again.
Right.
So for right now until Capcom Cup, this is the biggest tournament that we've ever seen. First off, it's a $1 million tournament. First place $400,000, bro. Second place $200,000. Third place $100,000. Everybody absolutely ate. I think going into it, we were like, man, we might get Mena versus Angrybird Grand Finals again, and we dang near got it.
Leading into the actual top 8, Angrybird and Kakadu. That's the story, right? Like, yep. Kakadu. We mentioned about Evo, how he was so close to beating Angrybird. He got the closest to. Mena did reset the bracket against him, but beyond that, Kakadu was the closest to actually make him bleed. He took him to match point and winner semis.
Kakaru, grand finals. He all of a sudden turned into an absolute robot. I don't know if you understand the significance of what we saw. Like, how that's not normal, bro. That's not. We've never seen that level of play ever. I
agree. What Rob's referring to here is, of course, during that whole grand finals, there was 32 perfect parries. There was a reset. So he did go to losers actually 3-0 to Angrybird at first, right? So he did get cooked in the winner's side, but he said, no more of this. And then grand finals, 32 perfect parries.
So that whole winner's finals, he just said, forget this perfect parry strategy. Right. I'm just going, there's no way. All of a sudden, he went up there. Angrybird could not press anything, bro. You could not do nothing. That was an unbeatable strategy for the time being.
I think that's the vision.
He was in the future.
That's the vision of where people have speculated about that for a while, about how powerful perfect parry will become.
Yes.
I think we saw for the first time how powerful it is. Like that future is now, right? That we finally caught a glimpse of that at the highest level. But he basically just prevented Angrybird from having any kind of regular flow with his gameplay, right? He'd have to alter any timing to work against that kind of strategy. Like, if someone memorizes your block string timings frame perfectly, they could perfect parry every single time. And we've speculated about that, but no one has actually pulled that off.
Somebody asked me, like, why did Angrybird keep doing Dragon Lash? That's stubborn. What the hell you want him to do? Everything else he was trying to get perfect. He could not fireball. He could not step kick. He could not Dragon Lash. You got to think he just taken away all of his normal options in the biggest moment of their careers. As far as, I would say that's the biggest moment. I'm sorry. Like, Evo, of course, has the most prestige, but come on. This is a $200,000 money match, bro. I'm sorry. All due respect to Evo. So you up there playing for everything, and this dude just turns into the Terminator. He turns into the most perfect being in Street Fighter 6 short history up to this point. Perfect parries, everything. That strategy, in my opinion, was something that he saved for nationals. That's what he was doing, bro. He saved it, and now he showed us, like, yes, this is my final form. He went Ultra Instinct. He dropped the ankle weights.
That's not my analysis, because to me, I feel like that's what you want to do regardless, but I agree there was a change. I agree there was a change, and the change was he dialed in beyond. He went a different form. That's what I think.
That's possible.
That's what I think. So
he won $400,000, brother. Bro, do you know what you could do for Brian? Even you could use $400,000.
Listen, my finances are, that's personal information that Rob likes to publicly disclose at his leisure. But yes, I could use $400,000. Listen, I would have reacted a little bit more ecstatically than Kakadu, to be quite honest.
I think sure.
He had that poker player reaction. The poker players win those $1 million prize pools, and they're just like, they had to suppress those emotions for so long. Kakadu was like, all right.
Oh, you would have been crying up there, bro.
This is my trophy. yes. You know, it was very
$400,000. Yes.
It was a very gentle pop off. I think many people would have gone crazy that moment.
Did you see what he said when I asked him what he buy with the money?
New buttons for his stick.
Yeah, he said go buy new buttons for his fight stick.
Hey, that's called reinvesting in yourself, because there's more prize pools to win. Capcom Cup is around the corner, which he still hasn't qualified for.
And Brian, speaking of Capcom Cup, we are about to see who is going to take that giant leap for their career and, of course, for their community to qualify out of Central America West. Let's go ahead and get into top 16.